Guys, welcome to another live Sunday session here with Earthworks Hub. I'm your host, Ivan Orlovic. I'm going to have some guests on here tonight to help me answer your questions. So, not only will I be able to give input, but these guys, industry experts, are going to be on with me. They're going to come on a bit later. I'll do all my intro stuff first, so I'll do all that stuff, get it out of the way, then the boys will come on and we'll start answering your questions. So get any questions that you have written down, get them ready. If you're on TikTok, like I said, I'm going to have guests on. You won't be able to hear the guests, so you should go over and log into TikTok, so that to Instagram, so that way you can hear everything that we talk about. Today, Sunday, the 8th of September, 2024. I didn't do a live last weekend due to Father's Day. It was a very, very busy weekend. I had a lot going on. Plus, I was moving studios. So, in the background, you can see I have moved. I'm in a new location. We've moved house. I have been relegated to the garage. But the good thing is I get to make it all mine. So now the whole garage is mine. I've got all my toys here, my car, my bike, all this other stuff. And I have my own separate little section of the house just to me. So this is / man cave / podcast studio / garage workshop. I've got everything all in one. So I might actually lift the camera off in a minute and then give you guys a bit of a tour. But before that, I will continue on and talk about the podcast itself. All these episodes are recorded. Even though it's live, I record them. I put them up during the week. So that way, all you guys can listen to them. If you didn't get a chance to hear something or you want to go back and listen to it, or if you couldn't make it and you want to hear the episode, you can find them on YouTube, Spotify, I'm lost. You can find them on YouTube and YouTube Podcast because they're two separate things. So one, the YouTube podcast doesn't have a video with it, but if you just go to YouTube, videos on their own, you'll see the actual video version. You can go Spotify, Apple Podcast, and then also I'll do snippets of it on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook. Make sure that you subscribe to all those channels as well, yeah? Quick shout-outs. So, shout-outs to all my sponsors, Network Finance, the Bole Group, Melbourne Tractors. Melbourne Tractors, I just heard some sad news today. I don't know how many of you know Melbourne Tractors, but Ken Bennett, one of the founders of Melbourne Tractors, has passed away, sadly. I know his son Kane very well, so I wish Kane, I'll send my condolences to Kane and his family. And I think the industry's lost a very special person, a true gentleman, someone that I always found easy to deal with whenever I went to Melbourne Tractors. So, really, really sad to hear that. I know he was sick a few years ago, and obviously it's maybe caught up with him. I'm not sure what happened exactly yet, but I did see some posts about him passing on. So, my condolences to the Bennett family and all the Melbourne Tractors team. Other sponsors: Spartan Machinery, Nexgen Landscapes, JR Safety Co, Digga. Make sure that if you go on to Digga, you use my coupon code, which is eWorksHub, and you will get a discount on certain items. Also, our sponsors are Digga, Godings, and Earthmoving Warehouse. So, a number of sponsors there. On some of our merch, you can actually get all the sponsors on the back of them. So, the t-shirt I'm wearing under this actually has all the sponsors on the back. Go on to the earthworkshub.com.au website, go to shop, and you can see all sorts of merch there. A quick review of the week. So, there's a couple of things. Before my guests come on, I'll talk about these things. Project updates. My project Spalding, the warehouse that I'm building, is still going ahead. I have got the painters almost halfway through there. So, they've done all the inside of the office. Now they're going to do the outside of the office and the front of the building, which will be this week. All the tiling is finished for the bathrooms and kitchen area. All the plumbing is complete now. The cabinets are all installed, sinks, showers and all that. So now it's just painting, doing line marking at the front, some landscaping, and all the carpet tiles and stuff. And then I think we're pretty much ready to go. The Sparky will neaten up all the wiring and whatever else it needs to do, install switches, finish it all off, and it will be done. So Project Spalding, that's still going ahead. I have moved houses, so hence the new studio. So hopefully you guys like that. What I'm going to do is every week I'm going to change position so you can see different parts of it. So today you can see this part of it. What else is there? So some big news. I eventually sold my 5-tonner. I was really anxious about selling that. It was the last machine that I actually owned, and I was talking about this a while back where I was trying to work out whether it's worthwhile keeping the machine or just going out and freelancing. So I've finally taken the plunge. I got rid of it. Now I'm just freelancing. And this week I actually worked for a good friend of mine, the Bole Group, and got to sit in the Komatsu PC130. And then I also will get a chance to sit in their Kobelco SK225, I think it is, they've got. So I can't wait to sit in that one. But yeah, I spent most of the week on the Hammer and the PC130. So a lot of you would have seen me on that Komatsu. You would have seen me on the Komatsu during the week on TikTok and Instagram as well. I was doing live sessions while I was operating. So I'm back to doing that as well once I'm in the machines. So, and this week I'll be back in there. So look out for those live sessions during the day. All right, so before I continue any further, does anyone want to see the studio? Do you want me to take the camera and do a bit of a walk? Or do you want me to set it up as a video separately to this and post it up? I'll let you guys choose. While you're deciding on that, I am going to invite 2 guests to be able to answer your questions. So they're going to help me answer those. Give me 1 sec. So this is going to be on Instagram. Like I said earlier, if you're on TikTok, try and go over to Instagram because you will not be able to hear what we're talking about. You need to go across to Instagram, Earthworks Hub, or you can watch the program once I post it up on the YouTube and Spotify and Apple and that. So I'm going to invite the guests through. People want the walkthrough. All right, wait. Before I get my guests, let me just take this camera off 1 second. So this is the studio now. So I've still got the old shelving set up. So that's all the shelving with all my sponsors. Give me 1 sec. Let me flip the camera. Hang on 1 second. All right, so here we go. I can't walk too far away from the desk. There's the setup. There's all the TikTokers. Hey, people. All right, so I've got obviously all my Roadcaster and that all set up. Then I've got over here all my items that my sponsors and other people have sent to me. So I don't know if you guys can still hear me, but I've got a few things there. That's my workstation. Like I said, it's semi-workstation, semi-garage, semi-podcast studio, and man cave. So there's a few things there from all my sponsors. This is the man cave section. So this is where I get to sit and relax. And then over here, let me go back 1 second. Hope you're all enjoying this. That's where I have my toys. So my Honda VFR 800, awesome bike, and the LC Tirana. I don't know if you can see that properly, it's hidden back there. But this is like a semi-work area, podcast station, studio, and everything in one. So there you go, guys. Sorry, all the TikTokers. You will get to see that on the video once I post it up. Alright, so without further ado, let me invite the other guys in. I'll just rip some of the cables out here. What am I doing? Alright, Oztrack, how you going, mate? Thank you for joining, Oztrack. Alright, let me just let the other guys in. Thank you very much. We've got Andrew from Sydney Rock Walls here. We've got Shane from Terrapro. Thank you for joining me, gents.
No problem.
Thanks for having us back.
No worries. No worries. I think it's a good opportunity to let people ask us questions and then hear from different opinions, you know? So, yeah, if you guys, all the listeners, if you want to ask some questions, we are open to that. We can talk about certain topics, anything that we can help with. If we don't know, we can always research and find out for you. But, yeah, fire away, guys. If anyone's got something they want to ask, thanks for joining. And go ahead, ask us, man, yeah.
I got one for you, actually, Ivan.
Go ahead, man, yeah.
What made you take the big leap to sell up everything and sort of freelance?
Yeah, that's a good question, man. I think I've been debating on this for a while because sometimes I have to admit, man, like apart from podcasting and doing all the videos and that taking me a lot of time, I also do like investing property development and stuff like that. So trying to do everything at once gets a little bit hard for me. And then also what I find is that over the years, having workers and turned over so many guys and machines, I think it's worn me down a little bit. And I think I got to the point where I'm like, I've got to choose what I want to do. Do I want to slow down a little bit? Because there's times often where I sit on site and I look at some of the guys operating and I go, man, how much easier would it be for me just to go in the machine, clock off and go home? You know what I mean? Not worry about maintenance, all this stuff afterwards. Where am I going to put the machines and all that sort of jazz, you know?
Yeah,
And then I think, yeah, and then I think to myself, while I've got the machines, I'm always thinking, oh, I could put some workers on. It keeps feeding me. Like I keep thinking about doing more.
Yeah.
So I think I've had that battle, and I've just said to myself, you know what? I'm going to have a bit of a break from the machines, like owning the machines, I should say. This way, I get to jump in because the other thing I've realised is I've realised that I'm always sitting in my own machine. I don't get a chance to try out other machines and give reviews and talk about them and stuff and go on different sites. So that's the other thing. I'm hoping that by now freelancing, I'll be able to be on different machines, give different opinions on different sizes, move around different sites. But also, I won't have to work like every day in my machine. I can say, you know what, tomorrow I'm going to work on podcast stuff. I can go work on my development stuff over here. Like, give myself a bit more time, you know. Yeah. Because even now, the last few weeks before I sold it, I was thinking, oh, now the machine's sitting on this site, I've got to go move it somewhere. Where am I going to take it? Then, you know, all these things, and I was thinking, it's just getting too hard for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. So what do you guys think of that?
I love it. I reckon go for it.
Yeah.
Like if you've got things going on, I mean, you know, a couple of good investments is going to turn over just as much money as you could possibly earn with an earth moving business, give or take, obviously, depending on scale and size. But yeah, niche down, mate. I reckon it's sick.
Yeah, yeah. It's scary, man. This is it was a big step for me just to be able to say like I'm not doing it. And I remember it was always like a big thing where I could say to people, yeah, I've got like 10 machines, you know, and then people go, wow, you know, that's the first thing they always ask, how many machines you got? And then they freak out. But I think I've come to realize that it's not just about numbers, man. You know, it's not about how many machines you got. It's about how much money you're making. It's about what you're doing. How's your lifestyle?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
So yeah. I've got some questions. So sorry, does that answer your question, man?
Yeah, it does. It does. I've been in a similar situation. I actually tried it out at the end of last year. I went and jumped, like, went to work for someone else for a month or so, but I couldn't do it. Like, working for yourself for so long, it's just not the same. It's just, the flexibility is not there. You can't just, oh, I want to go home now, or, you know what I mean? When you've got to put in the work, so to speak.
Yeah. Here, Nexgen Civil saying work, no breaks. Yeah, it's true, man.
It never ends. It never ends.
No, it doesn't. No, but look, like I have to say, I have to admit, yes, you're right. That's why I'm choosing not to just work for random people and that. I'm lucky that with what I'm doing as well, I'm able to sort of pick and choose a bit. So I'm just choosing like close friends, people that I know that need me, that I know they're not going to like break my chops. You know what I mean? I can still do what I need, and they understand my position too. So if I say I've got to go a bit earlier, I can't work Friday, they're not going to get upset.
Yeah. No, that's a hard thing to come across too, but.
Yeah. So that's it. But I suppose if I didn't have these other things that I do, and plus I'm trying to focus on all this podcasting and that, if I didn't have that in the background, then I suppose I might not be able to do it. You know, that's the other thing.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So yeah, and that's it. Like I've been really focusing on this stuff. So I'm finding I need the time to spend on this. Otherwise, it's just too hard to do everything.
Yeah. No, you're not. Yeah, 100% right.
Yeah. But no, I'm happy to share my experience as I go. And the thing is, I said, and my wife said, it doesn't mean you never do it again. Like eventually, I can just go get another machine if I want and start again. You know what I mean? So that's always the opportunities there. Yeah.
I've got
But
there's a saying that goes like the whole theory of like you never know the other outcome. So like once you've kind of chosen and committed to going, right, I'm selling up, I'm going to focus on the podcast and focus on the property investments and things like that, or other investments. It's like, go hard, go all in, readjust in 12 months, whatever it is down the track. But you can never spend time worrying about, oh, what if I had taken on that next job? What if I had kept my machine? Or maybes and ifs and buts. It's like, you never know the other outcome, ever. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's awesome to see that you've gone, no, I want to go down this path, and you just pull the trigger and you go as far down the path as you want to before, making the next kind of detour.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's it. And it's always like never say never. Like I'll never say, I won't say I'll never buy my own stuff again or never get employees again. And that you never know. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. And I'm still quoting jobs and that. So what I'm going to try and do is quote jobs and do things. And if I need to, I'll hire subbies in, hire machines if I need to, and see how that works, as well. I've got to give it a go.
Terrapro.
Yeah, true.
I'll come chop you out.
Yeah, that's it, man. You never know.
Yeah, that's it.
So yeah, we'll see what happens anyway, man. See what happens. So yeah, some people are telling me, "Oh, you're crazy! Don't tell everyone you got rid of everything." They're going to say, "Oh, you don't have a business." I'm like, I still have a business. It just means I don't have to have all my own gear. I'm going to try something different.
Yeah.
So yeah, something keeps clicking here. I don't know if it's me or is it. Can you guys hear that too?
No.
No.
I think there has been like a little bit of distortion or something in the background.
Yeah, it's like a little click every time I talk. Like it keeps distorting. Yeah. Oh, all right. So let's look at some of the questions here. So Austrac Civil Solutions, he has said, hiring skilled labourers versus upskilling young lads internally. What's our thoughts? That's a good question. What do you guys think about that? Is it better to hire people skilled already or try and upskill the guys that you have already in the team?
I'm a huge believer of upskilling what you've got. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't have this background in earth moving and running my business, but my wife and I own and operate a hair salon. That's where I am now. But we've had up to 7 staff at one point, and I was the biggest pusher for, by the time you find the perfect person to walk in and do what you need, you could have put the investment into an apprentice or someone that needs upskilling to get them more on board, more part of the community of the business and more involved and committed. And then that way, eventually they become the person that you were going to be looking for that you never found anyway. That's my personal experience with it.
Yeah.
We've lost Andrew.
Oh, we've lost him. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Must be bad reception up there. But I think you're right, man. I think you can mold people, like as you want them to be. So, you can put them into the workforce and then bring them up the way you want them to be. However, it does take a long time too, man. Sometimes it's easier just to get someone that's fully skilled, put them in. But even that person's going to need some sort of molding, to your style, to how your business operates,
If you can find them. That's like, so, you got to think, all right, well, say you're looking for an operator that's multi-skilled, can use, whatever, let's say dozer, 20 tons, do detailed GPS work. It's like the likelihood of that person to be sitting on their ass doing nothing whilst you're looking for someone to fill that position is usually pretty slim.
Yeah.
And then on the other side of that coin is the amount of companies looking for that same person in earth moving is astronomical. So you're not just going to be one business looking for one person to come and fill a spot. There's going to be, let's say, 15 businesses in that region that that person does live, and he's got the pick of the bunch. So you either have to offer a good pay packet or a good work environment to then get that perfectly skilled operator or work person in any industry to want to come to be a part of your business.
Yeah. It's true. There is, and depending on the time of the year or the time, whatever's happening in the industry, you could have heaps of skilled people or hardly any,
Yeah. I'm really big on like the data on that side of things, and I think the latest research shows to find the right skilled worker to come into your business that meets your criteria, on average is 3 to 4 months of searching and trialing. So you usually go through 2 people.
Yeah.
And in saying that, it's, of course you want that. Like if you're a business, you want someone that already has all these skills to be able to just step right in and off you go.
Yeah.
But the odds of that happening are pretty slim. So you're better off investing in the staff that you have. And the other thing is the staff that you have, that's what they want. Like, you're not going to really get a staff member in your business or company that's going to be, I don't want to learn anything, I don't want to upskill, and I don't want to progress. It's pretty rare that that's going to happen as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Again, only can talk on my experiences.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. Because most of the other thing too is that you increase the morale in your workers, and if you're upskilling them and spending time on them,
Yeah, 100%. And like the businesses that have the, I guess, best kind of team environment, they're the ones that, like, if you're putting that out into the world, and even though they might not be the staff that you need them to be right now, let's say you put an ad out looking for an operator that can just come in and, like a leading hand or operations manager or something, you might have staff on your team that want that position, but like you say, it might take a couple of years to get them there. But on the same time, if you're not showing the team that you already have like a good time, and that you're willing to invest and train and upskill, not only does that benefit you, but they also talk about it. So they go to their mate's joint and maybe meet with another guy that works for another mob who might be that right bloke. And by that person hearing your staff talking about how great it is, that's going to prick their ears up when you do advertise, and you're going to be the company they're going to want to go to over Joe Blow, big time excavation, just come and jump in and be a number.
Yeah, I agree. What about yourself, Andrew, man? What do you think? Is it better to upskill people you've got, or just get someone skilled in straight away?
Oh, it's what Shane said. It's a bit of both. Like if the team environment's not there, well, then it's hard to upskill what you've got, because no one's going to be interested. If you don't put effort in, the way I see it, if you have a team and you don't put effort into them, they're not going to give you effort back.
Yep.
So
yep.
I have been, all my time in the industry, I've been solo, so I don't really have that team engagement, you know what I mean? It's all just run your own show and just you're working for the other person.
Yeah. No, look, I've worked for large companies as well. So like before I started excavating, I was a manager for a manufacturing plant, and the same thing is, we got better results when we tried to upskill people and train them and get guys to move in different departments, and it worked better because then they had something to look forward to, and then they work harder because they think, well, if I work hard, they're going to put me up somewhere else or do something different. So you're actually giving them a reason to stay with you and look forward to something, whereas if they just see you always bringing new people in, they just think, oh, well, I've got nowhere to go, man.
Yeah. But, correct me if I'm wrong, but does it not help the business, because then like that person, or yourself or whoever, knows a bit of everything about the whole business? Like you've got a whole overview, like you don't just know management or know sales, or you know what I mean? Yeah,
and it's the same as well with operators. Yeah, like all my operators I used to try train them up and get them their truck licenses. Then they used to go sit in the posi track sometimes, and then it also made it easier for me as a business owner to say, well, today you can go on the posi, tomorrow you can go on the 5-tonner or whatever, the 20-tonner. I could move them around because they had more skills.
Yeah.
I mean, if my business was at a level, let's say hypothetically, that I had some staff on board and I also had a position I needed filled, the ultimate thing that I'd be looking at is trying to advertise for someone to walk straight into the position I needed, but I wouldn't waste a minute not trying to upskill the guys I already had, so that if, obviously if somebody that ticks all the boxes is available and comes on board, amazing, like you're there already. But the benefit of doing both is that if you don't find the right fit, and it does take time, and you trial someone, they don't work out, you trial someone else, it's a maybe, you're still unsure. It might be 4 months down the road, and a guy that just needed some effort put into him, or even a woman, whatever, someone that shows that they want it, they can change quickly, and they're hungry for it. So they might want to, they'll take on more responsibility and effort, and put in effort.
Yeah,
that's the way I look at it.
it's true. It's true. Yeah, no, I agree. I'm just going to scroll back through some of the comments here. Is that why you're wearing a beanie? Someone's saying, digging Nux is saying, is that why you're wearing a beanie? I don't know why that was again. Can't remember.
Don't know what the reference was, other than, Terrapro, good advertising. I'll take it where I can get it.
Yeah, that's it, man. That is a nice beanie. Yeah. So we had here. So where is he? Maybe Dylan Munro, I think it looks like. What are the best options for someone with decent skills in an excavator and wanting to learn, but but struggling to find somewhere to take on someone still learning? Okay, yeah. So I suppose he's asking. He's got some limited skills or decent skills, but not heaps, and wondering what to do to get someone to take him on. I think we've spoken about this in the past, but what do you guys reckon? What can he do?
I don't know. Is he working? Is it like there's heaps of scenarios, isn't it? Like, can you progress from where you are?
Yeah, true. That's true, Dylan. Yeah, it depends where you are, what you're doing at the moment. Have you done like on the ground work before and stuff like that? Yeah, that's all going to count if you want to try and get someone to take you on.
I guess you got to show, like, I've been an employee for a lot of these companies. So, I mean, I'm really lucky in the retrospect that I actually have a 100% success rate on getting jobs I've applied for. And my key for that was just putting in the effort. Like, I was just always, I've never been late. Don't do sick days unless deathbed, family, someone needs to pretty much cast it. But offering to work the weekends, go early, stay back late. I did hot seating for a long time. That's pretty much how I got into machinery. Was from labouring to then I was on a really large, actually was on Peninsula Link for an early stage. And that's when it was all just paddocks. And had little machine time, but really wanted to have a crack, and just kept putting my hand up, saying, hey, can I have a go? They would say no. Next day or next week, can I have a crack? No. And then I figured out, hold on a minute, whilst you guys go have lunch, can I jump in and have a play in the open paddock, very low circumstance of anything going wrong? And sure enough, they said yes. I got in a 30-ton compactor, a brand new cat, and that was me off and running, because the old boy didn't want to be jumping around in this rickety old thing. Well, brand new, but they're still rough to ride. Just pushing out mudstone. So by showing the consistency and not giving up, obviously you don't want to be a pest, but you need to show you're not going away either.
Yeah.
That's kind of got my first go in a seat, and then sure enough, that guy had a sick leave, and the foreman was like, "Oh, Shane knows how to use that thing. Throw him in it."
Yeah.
And then off and running.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Is someone hasn't got a pen in their hand, have they? I can hear knocking, man, all the time. I keep hearing it. Have you got some?
Me? I don't know. I don't have a pen, but I might be tapping.
It sounds, because I used to always have a pen and do this, and always play and then do this and move it.
Is it that bad?
I don't know. No, I can hear it. I don't know if the camera picks it up really easy. I can hear something all the time. I don't know what it is. Oh, that's all right. No, good answer, man. Good answer. Well, we got Nexgen Civil, as said here. What should a first machine purchase look like? Should you start off with small, like 5-tonner, or does it really not matter? What do you guys reckon?
Well, my first was a 5.
Yep.
I think I've touched on it before, but I guess you got to really narrow down, like, what work are you trying to attract? For me, I like the work that a 5-tonner does.
Yep.
If it was more about the love of earth moving itself, or the nitty gritty stuff, like a 1.7 is almost a third of the cost of a 5-tonner these days, or thereabouts, and can earn just about the same amount. So I'm not saying this the full amount. I'm just saying, you turn over good dollars with less of an upfront payment, and then it's what you can afford. So don't go buying a $270,000 bloody 10 or 13-ton excavator if you can't afford the repayments of $5,000 a month.
Yeah.
It's all good and great to wish for everything to go smoothly, but like you've said multiple times, you've got to be prepared to be sitting up in your first couple of years of infancy. Don't expect to be working every day, put it that way.
Yeah. Is that why you got a 5-tonner as well, Andrew, first? Is it because of that same sort of reason?
No, it was just the work I was chasing. So I was working for a lot of concreters back then. Obviously, I come from a concreting background, so I knew a lot of concreters, and the 5-tonner is the optimal choice.
Yeah.
So, versatile, you can get in anywhere. You can sort of take on the larger jobs. Yeah, it takes a little bit longer, but you can still do it.
Yeah.
Even
true.
with the larger jobs, I was talking about that recently with another friend of mine. It's dependent. Like if it's a tandem only job, a 5-tonner can keep up with a 13. Sure, they might load the truck faster, but 90% of the time, a client's not going to want 10 tandems on turnaround. You might have 3 to 5.
Yeah.
So 5-tonner is perfectly capable of those bigger side cuts.
Yeah.
When it's those types of jobs, obviously there is always going to be other times, but yeah. And I mean, the research I did was the 5-tonner and posi combo is your biggest return on investment in earth moving from a domestic standpoint, from the stuff that I found out.
Yeah.
So for the money that you got to put up versus the money you can earn versus the fuel costs, the servicing, all those kinds of things. For instance, a 5-tonner goes in the back of a truck. If you move up to a 13-tonner, you got to get a full-size town that can tow a tag trailer, and the tag trailer has to be 2-axle. It can't be single. So trailers are 50, trucks call it 150 plus 200 plus for a digger. Sure, if you've got the work, by all means. But they're the things that you really got to look into. How much diesel they're going to burn. Like my 5-tonner averages maybe 40 litres, 45 litres a day on average. Some days goes up.
Yeah.
Other days maybe 20 litres, if you're building retaining walls and things. So that's all things that I took on board. And again, mainly from just industry experience, but not ruling out, talking to people and finding out how they go about it. But that's all the stuff I looked into.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did the opposite. I bloody went straight for a 20-tonner for the first machine. Yeah. And I think it was because when I was starting, I was working for my cousins on Saturdays and they were mainly on civil sites, and they all had 20-tonners, and they'd just be loading trucks and stuff all the time. And they said to me, that's the easiest sort of way to get in when you don't have much experience. Go on a 20 and you just load trucks for now. Just get used to moving in a machine, and then you'll slowly be able to get better at it. The only thing I found was then with the 20, there was often times where I didn't work for like a couple of weeks between jobs. And the same thing. I tried to get operators on there, and it's hard when they always want you in there. When you're the owner operator, they want you, not your operators. So I don't know. And the only good thing was that I didn't have to worry about floating it because I just stayed on civil sites. So I just stayed on one job until the next one. But then you do depend on that civil company trying to continuously keep you going, because then if they don't, it might be 2 months until you find something with another civil company.
When I heard you started with a 20, I was like gobsmacked. I was like, wow, that is a huge upfront commitment, especially going into the industry, not really having been in it before. Yeah, it was massive.
Yeah, and I have to admit, I was heavily relying on my relatives trying to get me some work, So they tried to help me out, gave me some of their operators awesome. That was good. Yeah, they gave me the operators sometimes to try and keep me going, because I remember I went on a few Winslow sites when I first started to load trucks, and I couldn't handle it. And then they say to me we're going to sign your machine off, and then I bring my cousins and say, look, take our operator for the day, and just get him to load out until you get better, and then he'd jump in and work with me. So that sort of helped. That helped a lot. I was lucky.
You got to take those wins.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, a lot of people like might frown upon, like there's people in this industry like, oh, so and so gave them this, or their buddy's that guy, and all. It's like, mate, it's how the world works. You got to take all your help you can get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Definitely.
So bloody oath, that's amazing.
Yeah. I'll tell you the funniest story when I hardly knew how to use the machine. I went to the store to look at one, Ballarat Tractors, I think it was. And my wife said, "Don't buy the first machine you see, just go and have a look." And I was like, yeah, no worries. And the next minute I come back and bought a new machine.
Yeah.
And then when they delivered it to the yard, I didn't even know what I was doing with it. I was like,
Wow.
the guy's going, "Do you want me to take it off?" And I was like, no, yeah, you take it off, mate. Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, no,
Couldn't pick up the bucket properly.
let you do that, mate.
Yeah, I had no idea what I was doing with it. I couldn't even pick up the ripper properly. Then I realised I was picking it up backwards. Oh, man. Crazy. Things we do, man. Things we do. All right, so MM Tippers is asking, what avenues do you think work the best for getting hired for jobs? Is it word of mouth, social media? Oh, I think we spoke about this not long ago, wasn't it? I think it was yourself and Jack were on there.
Yeah.
So maybe, I don't know if you guys want to talk about that again, or do we just?
Andrew, what do you got with that?
Mate, most of my stuff is word of mouth. A lot of cold calling. When things get tough, you just got to pick up the phone, do some research, and just grab some numbers and just make the phone call. It is heart wrenching to hear the person on the other end say, "Oh, not," and just hang up the phone. But it makes you more hungry to ring the next person.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to get comfortable with no, obviously.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, I guess adding to that is just word of mouth is big. I think we ran through 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
So I've actually been going back to my existing clients and doing a bit of a, just touching base and saying like, hey, when other contractors come to you, what is it that kind of sways your judgment on saying, yeah, we'll give them a go? And the feedback I've been getting is someone in that company usually needs to know of or know your skill set, the person trying to get the work. And then secondly, they'll go straight to your socials. So most of them go to Instagram because I touched on, doing the website, trying to tick those boxes, and they all just said, no, we pretty much just go to your Instagram or Facebook. And then like Andrew was saying, just, when you get knocked back, like, don't let that stop you. You got to keep going. I'm super hungry for golf course work at the moment. I just think that would line perfectly with the skill set that I've got and what I like doing with earthmoving. And I live within 6 minutes of like 6 golf courses, and I've been knocking in doors. Like, come on, what do I got to do? And that hasn't worked out yet, but I'm slowly building relationships, and I'm not going to let that deter me. So by backing yourself up with making those connections with people, being a good person, getting involved in local community might help as well. And then word of mouth. So the more people that have dealt with you or had experiences with you, whether it's sponsoring a local footy team that your daughter plays in or your son or whatever might happen, but doing all those things and presenting well on socials, like making sure you're showing good work. That would be my key points. Yeah, that's it. And do you guys do any advertising, like formal advertising, apart from Earthworks Hub?
Probably the only one. Apart from that, no. Like, I've got a few, core flute signs on a couple of jobs that I've done, but apart from that, no. I ran my first set of ads recently just to see, I wanted to know how it works and if they do well or not. As we all know, the earth moving industry in Victoria is getting pretty quiet. Some people are really busy, some people are really quiet, but I've been noticing it a lot. Like, I was a big advocate for advertising for trades back in the day, and when I was doing my media and branding, I was actually helping a few of my tradie mates really boost their businesses. And we're talking Facebook before Instagram and before anybody had ever done a video of a trade. I'm a huge believer in it. Never run it myself, and I've been noticing a heap of it lately. So I figured I'll jump on the Meta business suite and have a bit of a look.
put a couple of bucks, I think it was like $3 a day on average, just to see if there was any traction or what kind of people were getting amongst it. But that's my first dabble with advertising, and nothing came through. Like I probably didn't style it correctly or anything, but it got some clicks and things, but nothing came out of it.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. Did you get anything out of it? Yeah.
Yeah, nothing out of it. Like, you can see the data. Like, you can see, age groups definitely helps. Like, so the main people who were interacting with the ad that was running, which was mainly just a link to the website, and a bit of a blurb about my business. You can see age groups. So like 35 to 45 was a big one, and then I think 55s to 65s was another big one. Males mainly. So again, the data you're collecting, you can then stylize the next set of ads to maybe hit a bit harder with that demographic. Whether you got to figure out what that age group is looking at. Is it Renault work that the 35 to 45s are doing? The 50 pluses might be doing new builds, so you might want to push ads that show, new work, multi-million-dollar builds. So there's a lot of data you can learn and push from just doing something simple like that.
Yeah.
But again, didn't work for me yet, so we'll find out.
That's it. Keep trying, man. Keep trying. All right. Going back to some comments, we've got Samex Excavations. Anyone starting from the bottom on the ground is the best. Learn, improve, but don't forget jumping on the rake or shovel is great for the soul. Austrac Civil, collaboration is key. And saying consistency. What else? Oh, it looks like Jack's on board. Where is he? We should get Jacko on as well. 1.7 is a great starting point. Somebody wrote here. That's Austrac as well. Who else was there? And then Samex was saying anyone starting from the bottom is good to get. So that's good. People are putting in some comments back to when we're talking about which person is best to hire, I suppose.
Yeah.
And Austrac said collaboration is key. There you go. No, that's good. That's the other thing. Yeah.
I don't think social media is a niche market too. You really got to know what to put out there.
Yep.
Like, I don't just think a photo of your work and a small caption. I think not good. I don't know if it's good enough anymore, but like you need to get creative on it.
Yeah. Yes. True. Because nowadays everybody's on it there, so there's more and more of us. So now you got to actually compete with what you actually put out, what sort of posts you put up. You can't just do the old, just film one thing and that's it. Yeah, you're right. You got to get a bit more creative nowadays too.
Yeah, and I suppose for us that's a whole another dimension. Like like you said, doing the podcast, it takes time. So, doing the post, sometimes it takes me an hour just to sort of edit a bit of a reel, and then if you're not happy with it, you got to try and start again. And sometimes I feel like it's out of my league. Post a photo and be like, if you want me to do something, this is what I do, and that's it.
Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah, I mean, for like Sydney Rock Walls, it's like I don't know much about your business, but I'm like rock walls, retaining. So there's no point you running ads in bloody, the flats somewhere. Like you'd want to be running ads in a demographic that's hilly and requires it. Like, you really got to think about, all right, well, what's my ideal client that I'm trying to attract? What's the, what's the issue I'm trying to solve for them? And then how can I show that in like a 10-second clip? Because they're going to scroll up the first 3 seconds. Yeah. So, the difference between iPhone photo and professional photography gear is pretty much what stops people in their tracks these days.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Well, I've learned over the short period that, you can set your phone to 4K photos and videos, or 4K videos, I should say. And that instantly makes everything a lot better, instantly. So there's some free advice for people. Change your phone, your camera to 4K. You'll improve all your videos and everything heaps more.
Just really hurts the storage.
Yeah. Yes, that's what I was going to say, yeah. But it will eat all your storage, man. Yeah. True. I find myself often, man, like I start editing like a little reel, and then I'm there, and then halfway through I've got to go and do something, and then I stop, and then I've got all these half edited reels everywhere. Crazy.
Yeah, it's full of.
Oh, I was track.
Like, you put together. I forget a lot to take the starting photos, all the videos of like before the works. Like I get the site, get unloaded, rip in. I'm like, yep. I'm like, shit, this would have been great to document. But in saying that, I just film shit on my phone during the day. Don't think about it again. I just film it. Most of the time I'm talking and pointing. And then I get home, sit on the couch when I get home, or sit in the car in the driveway, piece it together. Then I'll save it as a draft, put the kids down, have dinner, all those things. Half the time I'm doing it just before going to bed. Like, it consumes your entire day. You get up at 5, you go straight to work, you get home at 5, you do some family stuff. You've done half an hour on a reel, just trying to find the videos, get rid of that one, keep that one. It's like just doing one reel is like the last bit of the time you had in the day, pretty much. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well, that's it. As long as if you're getting something out of it, then it's worth it. But you never know. Yeah, that one little video you put up might be the one that your next customer sees and goes, "I want that guy." Yeah. So you just never know. But I suppose as long as we know where the line is, where we're doing too much of that, we're focusing on it and not spending time with family and that, because that's at the end of the day we forget that. That's why we're going to work and trying to make all this money so that you can spend time with your family, do stuff that you want to do your own little things, have your toys and that. So you got to remember that too, yeah. There's a saying that Gary Vee says about, it actually goes two ways. He says it about hiring staff or upskilling your staff, and he also says about putting things into action. So this would come back to like posting and things on your socials. 80% is good enough. He's like, no one's going to care. Like, if you got a team of 10 people and they're all 80% of what you want, that's better than having one that's 20, one that's 50, one that's 100, two that are 70. Just do the best you can without putting too much, like losing sleep. Put it out into the world, let it do its thing. And as you progress over the time, so will whatever it is you're doing, whether it's training, upskilling, taking content, speaking, lives. Just commit, get it out there as best of your abilities, and then as you evolve, so does what it is you're doing. So,
yeah, very true. No, he's good. Gary Vee's good to listen to, man. I like. He's inspiring. Very, very good.
He just speaks truth, man. It rocks a lot of people. Some people think that it's wrong or whatever, but it's like it's just straight up truth.
Yeah.
He puts a bit of sauce on it.
Of course. Yeah, they all do. Oh, that's it, man. I think a lot of guys are saying good night. Oztrack's left for the evening. There was no other questions from the other guys. It's nearly 9. What? Here we go. Tippers got to find a consistent theme in where you record, so you know how to edit the video. Like saying, meaning the music, where you record from, like from your truck or the ground or whatever. Yeah, he's right. Yeah, there's a lot of considerations when you're filming. Yeah. All right. Like I was saying, so there's only another few minutes before 9. Do you guys have anything you'd like to add before we finish up the group session?
Did you want to touch on that topic about what you include in your quotes and that?
I did, and I've got a whole bunch of notes, but maybe what we can do is have that as next week's topic, and then we can go over that, because if we start on that now, it'll go for a long period. I'm trying to keep it 1 hour, because I know it's a Sunday, guys want to go to bed and stuff, so I understand that. No, I think, you know what, we'll do it next week. So if you guys are happy, we'll do this again next week, and we'll do that. We'll talk about quotes. If listeners want us to talk about a certain topic, let me know. And if you boys are happy to come back on again, we'll do that. We'll come back on. We'll talk about what you got to put inside your quotes as a bare minimum. And then if anyone else has something else they want us to talk about, let us know. We'll do that too. Are you guys happy to come back on next week as well?
Yeah, more than happy.
Yeah, mate.
All right.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Good, man. Good. No, I'm looking forward to it, man. I think it's good, and I think everybody seems to be happy getting some different opinions on that. It's good. Tippers is saying good night. Yeah, see, they're already leaving. Everyone's off to bed. We're all getting older. That's that. I think we're all in that age group and that bracket that you were talking about with your advertising.
Yeah. The bedtime reminders coming up on the screen.
That's it. No, look, I really appreciate you guys making the time to come on here tonight and all the feedback you've given, and that it's good. It's good. It looks like we're getting a lot of good responses, and we've had a good turnout tonight too. So it's a good sign. So no, thank you very much. And then yeah, like I said, we'll if you guys are happy, we'll do it again next weekend.
Anytime.
Yeah, no drama.
Yeah, still Wrist is saying a green love her. I love it. All right. Now, Andrew, Shane, thank you very much, guys. I'll let you log off. So if you guys log yourselves out, I'll continue on and do the last bit of my my show, and then I'll talk to you guys probably during the week. If not, then definitely on Sunday again. Yeah.
Yeah, no drama.
For sure, mate.
All right, guys. Thanks. Have a good week as well. Yeah.
You too.
See you guys.
And yeah, my condolences to the Melbourne Tractors family as well, mate. That's,
yeah.
Horrible news.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Being part of the Melbourne Tractors community, yes, really sad news.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot. That's right. Yeah, you got your machines there too. Yeah, that's it. That's it. But no, he was a nice guy, man. So I don't know if you've ever dealt with Kim, but down to earth guy, always friendly, always said hello when I came in there and that. So even though I wasn't like a mega customer, but he still treated me like one. He was good. So and his son Kane as well. They're good guys, and the rest of the team there as well. Everyone's good.
Yeah, for sure. All right, mate.
All right, gents.
Have a good one.
Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.
See you, Andrew.
Yeah, mate.
I think, there we go. Excellent. They've logged out. Guys, thank you to everyone that's still on here for hanging on and listening to that. Hopefully the topics that we covered tonight helped everyone. That is the aim of this podcast, this live session, to give you guys the chance to give us, a bit of interaction. So if you've got any questions, write them down. Have them ready for next Sunday, because we're here every Sunday, 8 o'clock, except for last Sunday. But we're here usually every Sunday. Happy to help out the industry, give you guys any advice we can give or feedback. And if we don't know something, we'll try and find out, or we'll work something out together. Make sure you register yourselves. Go to the earthworkshub.com.au website. Register yourself as a member on there. As soon as you register or sign in, you'll become a member automatically. You can get merch from the Earthworks website. Let me start again. Earthworks Hub website. You can get merch on there. We have all the recent news, all the events that are happening, any people looking for work or people looking for workers. You'll find tip sites on there. You'll find any trades or any other subbies or any other sort of service providers, all on the Earthworks Hub website. Go on there. Have a look for anything that you need. It's all Australia-wide. And also subscribe to Earthworks Hub on all the socials. So you've got Facebook. There's a Facebook group as well you can join. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and anything that you see with Earthworks Hub, join it, share it, share the shit out of it. I always say, I haven't said that for a while. I'm coming to you live from the new studio. I'll try and angle it differently next time so you see different things. Thank you for joining me this evening, and I will see everybody next week, 8 p.m. Sunday, live session. Take it easy, guys. Hope you all have a good week. Bye-bye.